Good evening and welcome to the Sunday Night Takeaway. Hope you've had a good weekend and it's been an interesting one with the results. But as always, let's say hello to Maryland Cookie Monster. So let's say hello to the panel we've got so far. Good evening, Budgie. How are we doing, mate?
Good evening, Tony. Thank you for joining. For asking me to join. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. I'm doing well. I had a fairly good weekend. Good evening to the gentleman in the lower tier.
Good evening.
How are we doing, Maryland Cookie Monster? Keeping well?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm suited and booted. You know, I've got my Maryland cookies. So good.
New sponsorship even for Fuzzy?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if these are quite the sort of dippables that you stick them in that. I don't know if it quite sort of works.
Probably does.
But... Or maybe I'll do this one instead. Dip it in juice. I don't know. But yeah, we're doing all right down there, over here. I mean, it's been all right Sunday. All right Sunday. Did a watch along for the Man City Forest game. It was a little bit boring, courtesy of City and the way they like to play their football. That, and we're one of the only teams on the planet that can probably actually not beat Burnley at home as well. So that's something to be proud of. You know, these titles aren't easy to claim. You know.
No, well, we'll ask the man next to you, Anthony. How are you, mate?
Oh, I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not too bad. I just want to say big up to the panel. I do apologise, if we're a bit late coming on. I was stuck in my face with a McDonald's. As we all know. Yeah. Obviously, Budgie wanted some of it, but I wasn't having it. No, I didn't share my McDonald's. No. But if I'm like burping because I quickly brushed it, you know the reason why. If I burp into the street.
Let's see, the great people in the panel. So, in the actual chat. So, Henry, evening, Tone. Up you well? Yeah, I'm not doing too bad, mate. Way to go on 260 subs. Great going, awesome channel. Thanks, man. I didn't even realise I got to 260. But I think it was 258 the last time I looked. But no, 260. I'll take that. Thank you. Good evening, King Mikhail. You must be enjoying this weekend. It's still close. And good evening to Steve Cox. Hope you're keeping well, Steve. Good seeing you. Forest clown. Forest couldn't score in a brothel. Yeah,
to be fair, I don't know if people actually watch the game. Chris Wood. Oh my God.
That's a
game. Yeah, well, several chances that he had.
Oof.
Several chances. Murillo as well had an open goal, but he sort of sliced it a bit and sent it up off the bar.
Oh wow. Well,
so, yeah.
Evening Aces, a 4 in a row, wrapped up Pep smoking a cigar, probably is as well. And evening Pepsi pack. Spurs fans, get back in your broom cupboards. Yeah, I think they're being hiding today. Hi, Joanne. Hope you're keeping well. Aces, Burnley's cookies. You started already, Anthony?
Yeah, I started already. I knew I should have rushed it.
Anthony, number one, Bristol Rovers supporter.
No, I'm not. I think Bristol's red as well as London. Okay, you all remember this. And Manchester's
red. It's the red in the Crystal Palace shirt. That is.
Suppose it's better than that.
Better than Fortnite. Well, yeah, it is. But it is. Don't make a difference. It's better out than in. That's what we know. That's what I know.
Keep McGill Terrence. 115 charges, and Pepe will do the walk of shame. It'd be easy. It'd be interesting to see. And good evening, all. Good evening, usual suspect. I became well. Yes, I'm okay after last night. Thanks to the other half getting me to stay down the pub all night. Nice. Not bad at all. Not bad at all.
More pints than him.
Yeah, I've got to say, I don't need another half to encourage me to stay in the pub all night.
Let's do-
You do need the other half. You need the other half to frustrate you enough to say, "I'd rather stay here for longer, mate."
Well, no, I don't have a significant other, so it's great. I can just go to the pub when I feel like it. It's brilliant.
True that.
Interest coming here. Henry saying, got to talk about something. The Premier's so boring. Well, I suppose the one thing we can start off with, and that is Leicester's back up into the Premier League next year.
It does look that way, doesn't it? Now, what about these points deductions and that? Do they take them at the beginning of the season?
Just give
Or
them
they
the points
announced
now.
in January? You know?
Give it them now.
Negative number. Whatever they're, you know, it's only fair. It's only fair.
Well, I think that's coming, you know. It wouldn't surprise me that's coming, Budgie, I must admit.
Yeah.
No, I mean the thing is they're obviously going to put an appeal in, and that appeal will, you know, will be worked out over a period of a number of weeks or months. So why not start off with the penalty, then appeal it, and then get some points back later in the season if you need them, or when you need them. You know what I mean? Like, you're always going to need the extra points. And if they start off as they mean to go on by coming in and winning some games, you know, that can only be a good thing for them once they're on a positive number. And then, you know, once their appeal goes through, and then, like, if generally they do give 25% of the points back, let's just say.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they started with an 8 points deduction, they're going to get 2 back. You know, that then boosts their points position, and they've already fought to get to where they are anyway. So I think it would probably be better for the players to have it that way, to have something to fight for.
It'd be interesting though how they're going to play at the league, because it's quite interesting that you've got Sheffield United's gone down now, and obviously a -2 straight away for next season.
Yep.
And time will tell what's going to happen with this. Considering we're still waiting for City's 115 points or charges, what's going on with that one?
Well, you know, that'll get reduced, won't it? That'll get reduced to about 60 charges, and then they'll get found guilty on about 15 of them.
Yeah.
And they'll end up with about a 3-point deduction and a £200 million fine.
Small change.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You know, we're all going 200 million. Fuck no, you can buy a squad for that. They go, oh well. Looks like you lot are going to have to lose 50 quid a week.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? True.
Do you know what I mean?
Just say hello to Jess. JSI Talks Football. How we doing? Hope you're keeping well, Jess. And she says, big up, smash the likes. Thank you.
Thank you for your sub on my channel, by the way. Very kind of you.
Good stuff. You were so poor against you, Lot Tongue. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that game as well. So just going to catch up with the people in the chat. Oh, Johan. Big up to Moss Sports World. Top of the league. Emma's good match. Yeah, it was good. And good evening to you. Did you say, Paul-Dean? Are we doing Stu? Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Stuart.
And James Lamprey as well. Good evening, gents. We keep them well, mate. We all go with the flow, Joanne. Yeah, because look at that game yesterday. What did you think about the Salah substitution coming on?
Oh, God. Do you know what? That was ridiculous. I mean, when he leant over and told him, give him his tactics and tell him how to play on the pitch. That was what it was. And then Mo Salah wasn't having any of it. And then he just turned around and went, well, I know what the F and L I'm doing. So that caused a bit of a ruckus on the pitch, on the touchline. He came on in that. I don't know if there was anything after the game. You know, obviously when the game's finished and it went back into the changing rooms after the game, I'm not too sure. I suppose Klopp and Salah most probably exchanged words then. But I don't know if they did. But first of all, Tony, I just want to say congratulations on Leicester City getting promoted, right? I mean, I know they got FFP breathing down their necks, and so does Man City. So if Man City can get away with it, why not Leicester to a certain extent? But yeah, I thought that they're with Leicester City, they most probably get a fine, and whether they're allowed to sign any players for next season for that, obviously because their squad was still big when they actually got relegated, and they were trying to offload some also offload some players, and they did offload some of them, quite a few of them, but they were supposed to offload some more, and I think it was about four or five players they missed out on by the obviously by the transfer window. So obviously this is why they got stung, because their books wasn't leveled out. So that's it. The only reason why I know that is because a mate of mine, he's a Leicester fan. He does a Leicester channel.
Okay,
so
yeah,
that's
I'm you saying.
That's the only reason why I know that. But whether they're going to start, if they can't sign anyone for next season, then so be it. I mean, they haven't really got a bad squad, So, but yeah, I mean, fair shout to them. Is it our league, the Championship?
I don't think that Leicester are going to get a squeeze like Man City will. I really don't, because they fall into Category 3 teams like West Ham do. You got your top sort of 6 or 7 teams that are favoured by the Premier League, the media, and everything else. Then you got Category 2, which is your Newcastles and the like. And then you got Category 3, which is your Leicesters, your West Hams, your Wolves, those kind of teams, Luton's, they're sort of like the forgotten teams. So they're not going to get a squeeze from the Premier League. They really ain't.
But just a little thing, I think your volume's just up a little bit too high on your mic and that. You're sounding, just slightly, not much. Try that. That's better.
Just tap it too high.
There we go. There we go.
That's it. Thank you much, sir. Everybody's saying this has been brewing for quite some time between Salah and Klopp, so not just Saturday. I mean, obviously, Mo Salah said, if I speak today, there will be fire after clashing with him. Mm-hmm. Just to see if there's any other comments. Asked if Salah felt the issue was closed. Klopp apparently said, that's my impression, yes. But I don't know, when you look at that, you're bringing on as a sub and you're kind of moaning. I don't get it.
Who knows what goes through these players' minds, I mean, he might have been bitter about not starting. He might have been bitter about the timing of him being put on. He might have been saying, look, you don't need to put me on. These guys are doing all right. Do you know what I mean? We just don't know what was being said. I mean, within 20 minutes of the game finishing, I got a meme with this really funny conversation between 2 Asian people dubbed over the footage of that. It's really funny. You're bloody, and all this sort of stuff going on. It's really funny. It's hilarious. But I mean, who knows what was being said? I mean, we don't know. Salah might have been saying, you should have had me on 20 minutes ago, you donut, or something. I don't know. Whatever.
Could have been that. That's very true. Good evening, Mama Flossie. Hope you're keeping well. Good to see you on here. As well as Jose, LTL Cockerell. Good evening, Tony, in the panel, and all in the chat. Jose, any comments about today's game? Very close. Yeah, look, Anthony, just remind you anyway, but yes, very close, very close. You gave it a good shot near the end of the game, but just not enough to get it over the line.
Thought Ryan was going to take off his Arsenal shirt and show a Spurs shirt underneath for a while that game.
I was over at the pub and there were like 3 or 4 Tottenham fans in there, and as soon as Son steps up for the penalty, 3 of them went, "Oh no, please, not him!" And I was like, "Why not? He's probably the best player on the pitch at the moment for Tottenham." But I think they all wanted that young lad. What's his name? The one that we were looking at.
Johnson. The winger.
No. Brendan Johnson. Yeah, Johnson. I think. Yeah, they all wanted him to take it. They said that he'd been taking them, like in other games. I don't know.
No, I mean, because
I was pretty confident that he was going to slot it.
Well, just seeing Johnson's his delivery into the box straight into Reyes' ends every single time. So yeah, I wouldn't have been happy if he was taking the penalty. I must admit.
We
So I
would
thought,
have
you know,
passed it to him. We would have floated the ball to the
Yeah.
goalkeepers. It's like, you might as
No,
well
no.
just say,
don't
"Oh,
forget.
no, it's good
Yeah,
save."
but Fuzzy,
Hell,
there's only one
catch
player.
this.
There's one player that only does that. You know, he just, you know, Sacco when he played it in the Areola's end one time. Was that what, Anthony?
Mm.
Did you remember that?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember that. That's in my mind.
Funny,
I
funny that one. Yeah.
don't recall it, Tim. It's not there, mate. No.
I bet you if he was going across the line though, you remember that one, wouldn't you?
That might have been before his time as an Arsenal fan, in fairness to him.
Yeah, that's true, Budgie.
I'll tell you what, if it was against Onana, you wouldn't be a goalkeeper coming to meet the crosses. He'll be busy punching up everybody else on
Yeah,
the pitch.
what the hell was that about, Fuzzy?
He'd be going off to everybody else in the box like, yeah, ditch that, ditch this.
He don't need goalkeeper's gloves. He needs like 12-ounce boxing gloves. The fella.
Jesus Christ.
He's got
Yeah,
he's got bricks. He's got dusters in those gloves.
You know what I mean?
Big up Josh, the true gooner. Big up everyone. Hope you're keeping well, Josh. Must be
Good.
very happy with the results. Still top of the league, mate. You must be very happy with that.
4 points. No, 1 point now, isn't it?
1 point now.
Yeah.
Still a game in hand.
Yeah, it was 4 points at the end of the game, but City hadn't played. So, yeah.
Listen, we give Nottingham Forest a job, and they couldn't even fucking do that, could they? So, seriously, couldn't even beat Man City. So just one simple thing, and that is it.
Yeah, wrong Nottingham Forest, mate. They're missing out on one vital ingredient.
Never send the Yetis to do a gunner's job.
But that referee was abysmal, Anthony, at the Spuds. Do you agree on that one? Was he bad?
Yeah, he was a bit bad. I think.
Yeah, he weren't good.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we could talk about that Declan Rice thing, obviously, but you know, it wasn't done on purpose, intentional. You know yourself, with Declan Rice when he played for you guys, that is not in the nature of the guy at all. To go around and just kick someone. It looked like he literally kicked him over the ass between the legs, like. But do you know what I mean? That's not the nature of the guy. It's because he was watching the ball come down, and as he kicked the ball, went to kick the ball, the player was there, stood in the way, and you know, obviously he's kicked the player, so it's a 50-50.
But for a similar offence, Anthony Gordon at Newcastle got a penalty against West Ham for a very, very similar offence.
Yeah.
All right, the kick was in a slightly different place on the leg, but you know, it was down by his shin, wasn't it? Well, it was at the back of his leg, the calf.
Kicked the back of his leg.
So yeah, so it was a very similar offence, and you know, a penalty was given for that. So really and truly, you know, therein lies the problem. There is no consistency in these decisions.
No.
I'll rest my case.
Yeah.
You know.
And it proves you want them to deliver, because there was no card produced. There were a yellow, there were a red. So
nothing.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Speaking of the inconsistencies as well, something else that I saw. You know, the very close range handball against Wan-Bissaka that was given as a penalty against Coventry.
Yeah.
Same thing happened in the game against Burnley. Literally, Bruno Fernandes kicks it. Player's arm is out here. Hits his arm. No penalty. Where's the consistency? It's the same thing.
Yeah. A similar thing in the game yesterday as well.
Yeah.
In the West Ham game. His arm was right out, touched his arm, went out of play, gave a corner.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Budgie, on our show, we're doing something different. We're doing the predictions at the table for these two. They're going to have to, you know, read the game a lot more, because I predicted the Man United game right, 1-1. And then also I predicted Arsenal to beat Tottenham 3-2. Did I or did I not say?
You did indeed, mate. You did indeed.
Okay.
Yeah. So
yeah.
I don't know what Tony said between me, him, and Fuzzy. Well, if me and Fuzzy wins the league, apparently he's going to be giving out a prize to one of us. So I don't know what that prize is.
You already hit yours, mate. So don't worry about that. You've had your prize already.
I did predict an Ogbonna own goal yesterday, though.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I was almost right. I mean, it was just the fact that Soufal and Areola robbed him of it, you know. but I did predict that. I did predict it.
There's a comment here just Henry's put in there, which is going to have quite a lot of relevance. Transfer window at the end of the season will be pivotal for so many clubs, the ins and outs.
Yeah.
I mean, for us, Budgie, we need a major overhaul, don't we?
Well, we're looking at 4, maybe 5 retirees in our squad. So already we're at -5 players. Then you've got players that want to leave and the players that are going to be leaving because we know we're going to get, decent offers for them. For example, Johnson says he wanted to go. That's a big loss for us, believe it or not. And there are other players as well. Mabama. All right, okay, he's not a established first team player, but he's played some first team football. He scored a European goal. He scored a Premier League goal. More than one of each, I think. No, I think it's 1 European and 2 Premier League or something. But he's scored 2 or 3 first team goals. He's, and he wants to go because he doesn't see a future for himself. Now, that takes us into the realm of the David Moyes scenario, which we will probably talk about, but not yet. But yeah, we're looking at 8 to 9 players, almost a full squad, a full side, that are going to be having to be replaced because of one reason or another. And we're not the only team that are going to be like that either.
No.
But we have got the oldest squad in the Premier League right now.
So we're becoming more like a care home at the moment with the age we've got.
Exactly that.
Just see you saying that with people, and big up E Ross, big up gentlemen, big up to yourself, matey. There should be a wage cap. That's a contentious one as well.
Yeah,
as we said, Ben Davies' testicles have lodged in his throat apparently.
Yeah, he was speaking quite squeaky in his interview after the game. I thought, blimey.
I'll tell you who is getting on my nerves at the moment. That's Jamie O'Hara. Oh my gosh.
Oh, on TalkSport.
Yeah. I don't listen to it anymore, but from what I've been seeing on X and Facebook and all the other social media platforms, he isn't endearing himself too much to the West Ham faithful, is he?
No, exactly that. Well, I think it's just likes the sound of his own voice, Budgie. That's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, but from just about a mediocre player with just about a mediocre career, playing for mediocre teams, as they were at the time and still are.
Yeah.
He really hasn't got a lot of room to talk. He's never won silverware.
No.
The players that we're watching have done, and the manager that we're watching has done, but we have issues with the way we won it. We're glad we did it, but we have issues with the way it was done, with the way we played. We have issues with the way the team are playing now, and he doesn't understand that we have to. Would he accept him as a Tottenham manager? Would any of these pundits accept David Moyes as the manager of, let's say, for argument's sake, Arsenal or Chelsea or Manchester United or Liverpool or Manchester City? I would guarantee you 100% of them would say no. 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yet, we're supposed to be grateful to have him.
Yeah.
Mate, I'm sticking my middle finger up to people like that now.
Yeah, of course.
There's only one person I know that wants Moyes in, and I saw the video, and I forgot to send it to you, Toon, or unless I did, I don't know. Danny Dyer. He wants Moyes in. He's still Moyes in.
Still Moyes in.
Yes.
Well, that's because Jared Bowen's his golden boy. That's the reason.
Yeah.
And to be fair, Danny Dyer can't be controversial as anywhere near the club because of who his son-in-law is. He has to sort of go along with the club ethos, if you like. He has to. He's got no choice. publicly, he has to. Privately, I would imagine he's got a very different opinion. He's probably of the same opinion as a lot of other people, which is we're really, really grateful for what you've done. You've done a marvellous job with this club, but you have reached your peak. And we think that we need to go for the next stage because that's where we believe our club is or is going. You know, we were promised that next stage when we moved to the London Stadium. We're starting to see some of it. You know, okay, we're probably not going to qualify for Europe this year.
Yeah.
But we've reached 2 semi-finals, a final and won it. We've reached a quarter-final this year. We've done very, very well in Europe. You know, we did hold the record for the British team to go unbeaten in Europe, 17 or 18 games or something. You know, so, you know, Man City are the only team that have done better. Well, you know, if we're in the same conversation as Man City for, you know, success in Europe in that respect, you know, we deserve a little bit more respect from the media, surely. Do you know what I mean? But
they don't see it like that. We're
not in their narrative.
We're not the big club bunch. That's what it is.
No, it's not in their narrative, mate.
Mm.
But we are in the Olympic Stadium. You know?
Yeah.
Sanctioned by the Prime Minister of the country at the time.
Yeah. But I tell you what, Budge, big respect for you saying that. That's your opinion, right? And you're right to your opinion, and nobody can take that away from you because I get what you've just said, mate, and I've never really looked at it that way until you've actually just come out and said it. So, in other words, obviously, Man City are a bigger team, this, that, and the other, and it all goes to them. Like what Tony said, because West Ham are a much smaller team than Man City. But no, I think respect to you and respect to Moyes and respect to your fans and players, obviously, because you've won a European trophy. So why should a lot of people talk about it? Do you know what I mean?
No.
You know, that's exactly right. And you know, we do get, I mean, apparently, I don't watch it, but apparently on Match of the Day, we were the first game on, but that was mainly because it was Liverpool. Well, in fact, that's 100% reason why it was on first. And in the post-match analysis, they mentioned West Ham by actually just the fact that we were the opposition. That is it. There was nothing. No, you know, rundown of the goals, nothing.
That says it all, Budge. That says it all. Just going on these comments here. Southgate were a busy summer at West Ham.
Facts.
You know, Pepsi, he's going to Man United. We know that. As Emery says, Southgate to West Ham is a PR stunt. Never going to happen, as he can't even win with England. Terrible manager. I wouldn't piss on him. He was on fire. Eos is agreeing with you, Budgie. O'Hara, dead food. And there's, and I was going to say this as well, Jem O'Hara, the Billericay bench warmer. Yeah, he couldn't even do well at Billericay with all the money they had. Flat waistcoats with big sellers in the East End. Good evening, James Bond. Come on, good evening, you naughty irons. Eos is saying, feel like the West Ham versus City match is going to be an insane match.
Well, I'm quite confident that we're going to go at them. Because do you remember the last home game for Noble? We went 2-0 up in 19 minutes or something. Jared Bowen got both of them. Actually caught their defence napping on 2 occasions. And it took them till, I think it was about the 60th minute to get a goal. And then they drew level. But we held them to a draw, 2-2 draw. We went, you know, we went 60 minutes in the lead. Well, no, it weren't. It was like about 45 minutes of the game. We were in the lead of the game and looked quite comfortable. But then, obviously, Man City, being who they are, just worked and actually could have actually beaten us 4-2 on the day, if I'm honest. But thankfully, you know, it was a decent result for Mark Noble's, you know, farewell and that. But, you know, I remember that game distinctly because I was like row 6 on the corner watching Jared Bowen taking both of his goals in the first half. It was brilliant.
Nice. And
I think we can do that to them. We've now got Kudus, who also runs at them, runs at defences.
Mm.
And if he runs at that City defence and they're even remotely switched off, you know, him and Bowen, and perhaps even, you know, Paqueta running through, and mate, they're going to be overrun by players running at them, because Paqueta likes to run at them as well, you know, when he's in the position to. He's not very good at it, but he does. He's much better at his, you know, distribution, obviously.
I mean, how do you think the game went yesterday? What you saw of it?
Well, I was really happy with the way we opened the game up. I mean, the first sort of 6-7 minutes, we were feeling our way into the game, I thought. And then we started playing out really quickly. And we were making, you know, sort of inroads. We got our first goal and we went into half-time 1-0 up. So that, to me, made me have a little more confidence for the second half. Because I felt we actually attacked Liverpool. They had a couple of chances. Of course they did. They wouldn't be Liverpool if they didn't.
That's true.
But
he was an own goal, though, isn't he?
Yeah.
Same as Man United, yeah.
But, you know, the thing is, what I'm saying is that at the time, you know, probably the two worst central defenders in the Premier League. One because he's not got mobility, and the other one because he is just too slow. You know, Oggy and Zuma. They done a really good job, and they were supported really well by Soufal and Emerson. And you know, you found Emerson being the most central defender at points in the first half.
That's true.
And it was really, really good to see. Emerson had a really good game, I felt, as a defender. You know, I mean, we didn't see an awful lot of him breaking forward in the first half. But defensively, I thought he was probably the strongest defender in the team. And I just felt we really took it to them. We didn't give up when they went 2-1 up, you know, through a decent goal and a fluke. So, you know, I felt we done really well getting back at them, getting back at 2-2, you know, and it upset all the Liverpool fans in the local. So it was fucking a brilliant day. I had about three of them going like that, sticking their middle finger up at me, going, because like when the first goal went in, I was like, "Where are you now, Mickey Mousers?" But yeah, so it was good fun though. It was all good natured, you know what I mean? But no, I just felt we done really well to get a point. Disappointed we didn't go in and get the second goal in the first half. But because then we might have had a 3-2 win, you know, which would have been really good for us. Looks like our European hopes are now a distant memory. But, you know, look, we can still hold our head high. You know, we've done all right. We've been looking at getting into Europe again for our league position all season.
Yeah.
You know? And we can hold our heads high because we done really well. We got to a quarter-final in the Europa League. And, you know, undeniably, that is the second most difficult league in Europe, you know, in European club football, as it were. You know, Champions League being the best, obviously, and then that. You know, we've done really well. We've reached the semi-final in that 2 years previously, you know. And so I'm happy. I'm happy with the way the season's gone, if I'm honest. Not happy with a lot of the results that we've had because we've, you know, literally thrown games away.
Well, the worst one is this fella down below me, and that was the worst result, I think, of the whole season, basically.
Yeah.
Mark R, even Mark R, could we out the next stage? Stay the course, resign David Moyes. It's true. And,
this word, resign, needs to have a space between the E and the S.
You can shush. You can shush, mate. Have him at Man United.
Exactly. Even after
he's gone after 7 months.
And also
Exactly
to Mark Conway. Good evening to pair of you. We all
Good
say hello
evening.
to each other. Arsenal Manic saying we were far from our best today, but showed efficiency in that first half. Raya Howler let him back into the match, but no means did dominate the match, though. It's true. Do you agree with that, Anthony?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I thought Rhea was an absolute twat. How many times have I actually say on shows when you get the ball, kick the fucking ball up the pitch, kick it up the pitch. Now, I think I rest my case on that one now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. So basically, this is why I get my air off with Rhea. Do you know what? Don't get me wrong. He hasn't been bad in goal and that. But some people said, "Oh yeah, but he redeemed himself after making that mistake." Well, the balls he actually caught from the crosses, like when the ball was coming in, they were easy balls, and they were in his sight anyway, in the palm of his hand.
Yeah.
So he didn't really actually redeem himself. He didn't pull off any outstanding vital saves after that decision. So yeah, I just hope he just don't play out from the back, because if that's the, I mean, we got Brentford next game. Just imagine that, him doing that goal against something like that against Brentford, and that can cost us. I mean, fancy losing, like, not with, we failed to win the Premier League because of Brentford. I mean, obviously, bloody hell, it gives me shivers just thinking about it. But,
I can name 3 people that would actually be quite happy with that scenario. Isn't that right, lad?
Yeah.
Bournemouth, Bournemouth. We got Bournemouth, not Brentford. Bournemouth. We got Bournemouth. Yeah.
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
Bournemouth.
Yeah, it's
Well,
Bournemouth, not Brentford.
be
It's
interesting.
Bournemouth. Sorry.
listen, with the way Bournemouth play, mate, they're capable of beating anyone on their day. They
Yeah.
really are.
Exactly.
I mean, that Solanke, he's a dangerous man up front.
He is.
There's going to be quite a lot of interest in him, I think.
He is.
in
But I
summer.
thought that Richarlison should have got sent off today. Did you see what he did to
Big up,
Gabriel?
Chris.
When he
No.
ran past it, he literally ran, and Gabriel was there, and that Richarlison, he went bang straight into it.
Oh, yeah.
Slaps him on the chin.
Richarlison's not a good player.
No.
I know, an interesting stat about him, actually. Since he's been at Tottenham, he hasn't scored with his feet.
Yeah.
Mm.
Take
No,
his
that's
feet
true.
off. Give him peg legs. He'll probably have a better chance.
And Neil, Henry's just.
Stick Zuma up front, they'd probably have more goals.
Do you mind you Gunners are going to put an 8-point lead again?
Oh well, it's not. It's 1 point now, isn't it? But I mean, I can't remember who Man City's got in their next game. They got an easy run. But I mean,
Well, they
don't get me
haven't got
wrong.
an easy run. They've got us, mate, last game of the season.
Yeah.
Oh, have they? Well, listen. Budgie,
It's not going to be an easy game for them, mate. I promise you.
no,
It's our last game of the season. It's probably Moyes' song, swan song. He wants to walk down that tunnel to a round of applause, not boos.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It's
And they
very
got
true.
No matter where it's being played either. Do you know what I mean? That won't matter where it's being played.
No.
He won't
And
be
they got-
wanting to get booed off.
Yeah, and they got Tottenham before you. That's the midweek game Wednesday.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
We've got.
But that's not an easy game for them either.
No.
I can see them winning 3 or 4-0. Not going to be an easy 3 or 4-0,
No, no,
Tottenham will be at them.
I mean, what I
Yeah.
saw from this going on James Lamproup's thing, I agree with what you're saying, Anthony. Raya's not the keeper for Arsenal. Kellis, he makes his new defenders nervous. I mean, seeing when he's catching the ball and then throwing it on the deck, it's like when he didn't need to. It's an easy catch in the air and he's just kind of falling on the floor. What for? You don't need
Exactly.
to.
Exactly. You didn't need
waste
to.
time.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Everybody slates Ramsdale. Do you know what? I like Ramsdale, but when you look at it with Raya, because he can win the Golden Glove Award, whatever it is you want to call it. But I'll be honest with you, it is Arsenal haven't really improved their goalkeeping position. If you ask me, they haven't. The only way that we've been decent is because of our defence, especially our 2 centre backs with Saliba and Gabriel in these games.
Out of the 2 keepers, though, Anthony, who would you prefer in a penalty shootout?
In a penalty shootout.
And
Yeah.
your 3 keepers you've got, which one would you prefer to be in the penalty
Oh,
shootout?
3 keepers, yeah.
Oh God.
Hein.
You put me on the spot there, Budge. I don't know. I most probably would say it most probably be from this season. It'll have to be Raya because of obviously the Champions League game against Porto with the penalty saves that he done. In all fairness,
Yeah.
so that's most probably.
So on current form, you would go with Raya, yeah.
On penalties, yeah. I think but with technically with the hands, I think Ramsdale was better with his hands, but Raya is more comfortable and quicker on his feet, Raya, than what Ramsdale is. So you've got a goalkeeper that's good in one category and the other one's good in another. So that's it. So but with hands, it's
I
definitely
think Fetting needs to get some like rabbit ears or something so we can really see him properly.
Question for you there, Anthony, as well. Why do you think the reason we seemed a bit sluggish today? Was it because of the back-to-back derbies, while Tottenham had 2 weeks off?
Well, it's most probably because Tottenham had most probably had bloody 2 weeks off. But I got to be honest with you, I thought Tomiyasu was a little bit poor today. I'm not going to lie. But with him playing poor, okay, we got the 3 points over the line, in and out. Listen, I'd rather have a poor Tomiyasu playing than Zinchenko playing left back. Honestly, that's a definite fact in that. But
Hello,
I mean, when Trossard, he was all right. He didn't really do much in the game, in my opinion. Trossard. Then he got subbed off for Martinelli. But as soon as Martinelli come on to the pitch, I felt sorry for him because the balls weren't going down the left. The balls kept going from the middle and on the right hand side to Saka. So it's like Martinelli. He's like a lost soul right there on the left. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's had a falling out with some players or what, because it's very rare he gets the ball when he's playing out on the left. So
I did notice that he played what's his face alongside Declan Rice today though. Thomas Partey.
Yeah.
No, that does seem to work well for you though, doesn't it? In that middle.
It
You
does.
know, I was never a big fan of that Thomas Partey. I got to be honest. I always thought he was clumsy and not very technically very good. But working alongside Declan Rice seems to suit him.
Yeah. That's what we want to see, Budgie. But in all fairness, he's been out pretty much this season through injury. You know, there are sort of saying, is he so-called apparently injured? But you know, that's a different story. But listen, I mean, he did well against Chelsea, and it was exactly the same team we set up against Chelsea. Exactly the same. But yeah, I feel that we, I think with Declan Rice doing what he did, okay, fine, that was a penalty. And then obviously Raya, that stupid mistake he made. And I told you it was going to catch him out one day, and trust it to be against Tottenham. But, I mean, we've on, got the 3 points, and that was the main thing. I mean, going away to Spurs' ground, it's not the easiest ground to play, to go to, is it, really? But
Fuzzy's completely covered.
Yeah, where are you, Fuzz?
Put your hands up if you want to speak.
There he is.
Hiding behind words on the screen. Classic internet troll behaviour.
Brilliant. Love it. See, now, I asked you a question about who you would have out of all your keepers. What about you, Fuzzy? Do you trust Marner in a penalty shootout?
No.
No.
I don't trust him in any capacity.
No.
Even though he saved recently.
Give him a wave, Budgie. Give him a wave, Budgie. Give James Bond a wave. There you go.
In my tracky top. Yeah, mate. It's covered in blims, and it's a Mackenzie one, just to let you know I don't wear cheap shit.
Evening, Tony.
So, James Tom's still got Navco 54, ain't you, T?
Yeah. Sergio Tashini, the whole lot, mate, Apparently they're making a revival, aren't they? That's what it is. I've just kept it for all them years.
God, perfect. The Moss haven't been after it then.
Yeah.
I have a face for radio.
The The voice for
Chris-
YouTube, and the face for radio.
Exactly. Chris is saying here for Meta Football TV, how much does Arsenal midfield free cost him? Crazy money versus Holberg, Bentancur, Madison. Ooh.
Crazy money.
Crazy
Crazy money.
money.
Crazy money.
Crazy money. What is it? 45 million for Partey, 105 million for Declan Rice. And I think Odegaard, I think he was 35 mil. It cost us in the end.
So that's 185 million.
Yeah.
What about Højbjerg? I think he was about 22, 26 million. Call it 30. Call it 30. Bentancur, he was about 35.
35 and Madison was 40, wasn't he?
Madison was
40,
40,
yeah.
wasn't he?
So that's less than 100. So it's about half of what Arsenal have spent.
Yeah.
So is it big money like Arsenal? Not really.
No.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. In my opinion, out of the two, Arsenal's defence is much stronger, much more creative, and better defensively as well.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Madison being the one exception in the Tottenham team, because I would have him at West Ham in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I really would. Over and above Grealish, if I'm honest. You know.
Nice comment from Arsenal Meg about Antonio. You have to hand it to him. He's still coming up with big moments. This guy never shies away from the moment.
Exactly
Not at all.
that.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said earlier on, Tony, you know, it's like, you know, it took me back a couple of 3 years ago of when, you know, Antonio was leaping up like a salmon and getting the balls like that all the time. You know, that one in particular when he had his arms out, and it was brilliant. You know, yeah, it was great.
Yeah, I like this one here. Arsenal are better off, in my opinion. Quality costs these days. That's why I go to Lidl.
Yeah,
Kindly reminded to hit the likes button, please. Yes, make sure you do that, folks. And don't forget where you got the chance to do Hot Fuzz 44 and obviously Green Street Elites. Don't forget those guys as well, please, while you're here.
thank you.
Good evening, Jez. He's a prick. You are a pricks. Absolutely, we're all there.
You got Jersey prick.
Antonio not phased by the stature of the opponent. Doesn't matter who you play. That's what I like about him. He's still got that strength. Even at 34, he's still giving it.
Yeah. And, you know, like in his interviews, he's confident, he's comical, you know, and he's honest as well. Do you know what I mean? He's not one of these media controlled people, and be quite controversial because he'll say stuff that people don't like, you know. But I like that about him, and I like the fact that at 32, 3, whatever it is, he is. I like the fact that 34, isn't he? Actually,
34, yeah.
I like the fact that he's still one of the quickest guys on the pitch.
It's like, somebody said it in a different stream that like Brennan Johnson is really, really quick. They always play like Usain Bolt does in soccer.
Yeah.
It's a sprint everywhere. Don't worry about the ability comes later.
Yeah, but then you see Antonio's got this uncanny ability to have ability when it really, really matters. You know, like for example, in the Brighton game this season at Brighton, he did a beautiful little double turn on the defence and got himself in for his goal. You know, and that's what I'm saying. Sometimes he stumbles across greatness. Most of the time, he's just a beast.
Yeah,
And
that's Mark Carr saying exactly the same thing, Budgie.
Yeah, I love beast mode, Antonio, and you know we've been missing that. You know, and even though he's of a similar stature, you know, Divine Mbama, it just isn't a beast mode player. He's quite skillful and tactical. You know, and I think David Moyes has, you know, not wanted to replace Antonio because he can't find anybody that does that job the way he does it.
No, I agree.
You know, and you know, I think rather than Antonio being Moyes, I think Moyes has been Antonio'd. Do you know what I mean by that? He just
Yeah.
he loves the way Antonio performs for him, and he'll pick him at 80% fitness. You know, so
Take
you
it all
know,
day long.
and he's been great. He's been great. Evening, Jeff.
Evening, Jeff. Yeah, absolutely. Bowling Lounge. And good evening to Stepsy as well. Big up Tony, big up the
Stepsy.
panel. So they're all saying hello to each other. And Arsenal Manic saying, Bowen is another key player. How would you rate Paqueta this season? Ranking out of 10. Start with you on that one. Anthony, actually going to go for the two rivals.
Yeah, go for it.
Paqueta this season. Do you know what? I quite like Paqueta. I'm going to count the friendly when Brazil played against England. And I tell you what, I call it an FR, a free roll, which Paqueta, you give him that free roll, down a minute, I feel he's better in that position for Brazil than in that the position what David Moyes plays in for West Ham. So I think Moyes ought to look at that and, you know, he's got something there, like sort of thing. So, but I'm going to give, if I give a half point, I'm going to give him an 8.5 this season.
Fuzzy.
Wow.
On Paqueta.
I'll probably give about 7, probably like a 7.5. I'll give him closer to an 8.5 myself if he was a bit more sort of closer to impact for West Ham the way in which Palmer has impact for Chelsea, where he's just like, he's out and out, like everybody can see by far he's like the best player in the squad. I think that's probably where I'd give quite a boosted rating, but I think 7.5, as he is one of your more productive players, one of your most technically gifted players, and I just think maybe not so much just a week to week standout performer, but with and when it comes down to it in a big game, that's a guy that you know that I think anybody, rival fans, whoever, if you want to say West Ham will win a game of football, and you want to pick out a key difference in the game or a difference maker, Lucas Paqueta is generally right at the very top of that list. So for me, he's proven that in various instances. And yeah, to me, 7.5 out of 10. Not world class on another level, but by no means bad at all.
Budgie?
Well, judging just by this season's performances and not taking into consideration anything he's done in previous seasons or in international games or anything, just judging by how he's been for West Ham this season, he's been one of the most frustrating bastards to watch all season.
I agree on
because
that.
we know that there's an absolute wizard in them boots, an absolute wizard, and yet he keeps stumbling over, he keeps giving the ball away, he doesn't judge his passes well enough at times, but then he can use that magic left foot of his to pop it onto somebody's chest or head in the middle of the box, or pass it through to somebody who's on the run, usually Bowen or Kudus, and we know he can do that, but he doesn't do it often enough, and he makes a lot of mistakes. So on that basis, I'm going to give him a 7, outright 7. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with most of that because I said there's times. I mean, obviously, there's the injury as well. So I would have gone for an 8.5, if anything. But going by some of the games he does, and I'm going to come to a comment that Mark Ars also put as well. Let me just go to that comment actually. Sorry, Robin Irons actually says here, we played with 10 men yesterday with Paqueta. More passes have gone astray or to the opponents, and that's where his problem's been.
Yeah.
If he was, to be more of an impact player, which he can be, then he would deserve a 9. But on this season alone, nah.
Could you make that sort of comparison to a player like Bruno Fernandes then?
Yeah.
He does like to do the Hollywood passes rather than the simple thing to keep position, play an integral part in that free role position. Whereas he just likes to mainline it and say, look at me, I'm a superstar. And just to start playing a 40-yard crossfield ball to your striker. He's trying to do like a Rooney to Van Persie against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Every single goal. It's like, it's not how football works.
No,
If he keeps
exactly.
it simple, his goal contribution between goals and assists goes through the roof. But he's just wasteful. Too desperate.
Yeah.
Going for course. Going by Arsenal mate saying it's 8.5 out of 10 is impressive. That's really high over the course of a season, and that's what he is capable of. That he is, and that's why we may possibly lose him by the end of this season. So we'll see on that one. Coming from the course of the when we play City, we play them on the 19th of May. Looking at the last game of the season, that's a 4:00 kickoff.
That's when I'll get to
It's
retire
4
to the
o'clock.
beach.
4
4
o'clock.
o'clock kickoff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 o'clock.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we've got Chelsea coming up.
Yeah.
2 o'clock kickoff. Then we've got Luton. As Stepsy says, he's not exactly looking forward to coming to the London Stadium when they play us, as he's a Luton fan.
Right. Yeah.
As always, Jess, smash up the likes. Yeah, we said that one. James Lampert saying Paqueta played the free roaming position last game. It was very average. His love affair with West Ham is over. He's off. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of looks that way. I mean, the thing is, I always think that, these players, they all want to wear the number 10 shirt, right? But their best position is actually a classic number 8, in my opinion. Because you remember players like Scotty Parker. For me, classic number 8. Okay, for West Ham, played a fairly free role wherever he was needed. He was there. He was also the club captain at the time. Big up. He was also the club captain, so he was quite vocal and respected by the players around him. And he produced some magical moments. And that's what I think these players like Paqueta, I think his best position is a number 8. I don't believe that his best position is number 10, and I also think, players like Phil Foden should be a number 8 because he's so bloody good at what he does. Why would you restrict him to just being a left winger or a right winger? Give him the number 8 role and just say to him, go and play your game. Jack Grealish is a typical number 10, in my opinion. Mohamed Kudus is a typical number 10, in my opinion. Bear with me. Carry on. I've got somebody knocking on my door.
No, it's Budgie. Big up Carl Rossi. Hit the fucking likes, as he says. And William Young saying, swap Pac-Man for Grealish.
Big ups.
100 million for 100 million. Probably wouldn't be a bad shot. Big up Carl. They're saying hello to each other. Is it too late for my vote for King Thomas? He's just what I've sheep to attend to. No, I've sheep to attend to. No, you can say your score, no problems at all. Mark R saying Antonio should have been fed more passes yesterday. Players are too slow at getting the forward pass. Bowen did feed a nice cross to Antonio, though. Yeah, we said that earlier on, funny enough.
Yeah.
Listen,
I'm going to go off screen for a couple of minutes because my son's cooked dinner and I don't want to let it go cold. So
you enjoy that food, mate.
I'll go off screen for a minute and then,
I like the service you've got as well, Budge. The service is great. The service is great.
I know, it's brilliant, isn't it? It ain't very often I get it, though. I'll tell you that.
I got to get my in.
I'll catch you back in a few minutes, all right?
No worries, Budge. No worries, mate. No worries, mate.
See you in a bit.
Smash the likes, I was saying. Just eat now delivered to your just eat now delivered to your bedroom.
Keep the window open. You keep the window open.
Uber Eats as well, isn't it?
Yeah, your Deliveroo driver just to climb in through your window to hand the food to you. Never mind knocking the front door. Just go through the window.
Poxy cat wants to keep going in and out the fucking door. Bear with me.
That's Tony's Just Eat driver as well.
Yeah.
Been down the road to get in.
Yeah, you just bear with me, guys. I just got to eat my McDonald's, so I won't be long, all right, mate?
You regurgitate it or something. I'm going to finish the rest of my packet of Marylands, guys. Don't mind me. Just go.
You've got Eddie Garnaccio as well as Man United. Probably, man, your best player, Fuzzy. 19 years old, bought for peanuts, and a shout for more of the senior players. Scrap that 5-year deal. Send it to us, please.
Get yourself another start point for the left-hand side. But yeah, I mean, the only downside really for Garnacho is that he's just got inconsistencies at the moment. Because when he's on his day, he's practically unplayable. You know, he does what we need him to do on the left-hand side, which is more we can say for pretty much every other winger at the club, barring Amad Diallo. Amad Diallo will actually try to create. Anthony only cares about spinning. Well, spinning, and then in some cases eating Mackie D's.
Exactly.
Then you've got Rashford, who's too busy. He's too busy with one hand between Rishi Sunak's legs and the other one tweeting PR stuff out to Man United fans. So yeah, and the other winger is sat out in Dortmund trying to beg Dortmund to keep him over there. So
that's true. I'm only eating it. Don't make me deaf. Fucking hell. Yeah, I mean, obviously, just looking at the table and that, do you think you're going to lose that 6th spot there, Budgie? But I mean, Fuzzy names.
Well, I mean, we already have.
Newcastle
are in 6th place at the moment. After they slapped up Sheffield United, they're now 2 points ahead of us.
Unless this table hasn't changed, because looking at this, it's still saying that you're actually 6th still. Newcastle are a point behind you.
How? I swear last weekend I looked at it, it was like, yeah, you both played the same amount of games, but they're ahead of goal difference. So where the hell has that happened?
It's tough no matter where you look at it, Tony. It's like with us with Man City. I'm gonna put it out there now. Liverpool, their title leagues are gone now.
Yeah.
Their title leagues are gone. So they've I reckon they've obviously cemented third. It's safe to say that. 4th is between Tottenham and Villa, which I think Villa will get that comfortably. But it's like what Fuzzy said. You've got 5th with Tottenham, 6th Man United, and Newcastle 7th with a point difference. But you look at how Newcastle are performing. I mean, they had nothing but injuries all season, but
that's true, isn't it?
Results out the bag.
Yeah.
You know? So obviously they're breathing down Man United's necks, basically. So it's going to be a Europa or Europa Conference for out of Man United and Newcastle.
No, that's right.
We're still yet to play them as well.
And
to make matters worse, the last loss that Newcastle had was against Crystal Palace. Well, yeah, we play them next. We play Palace next at Selhurst Park. Then we've got Arsenal. Then we've got Newcastle, and then we finish the season at Brighton, which we never do well against Brighton. Excuse me as I say that there's quite a possibility we lose 4 games in a row.
Yeah,
possibility. There's a question here from James Bong. He's saying, is it okay to be happy that Arsenal are still in the title race despite seeing such Spud's pain? I think if you look at that, if you look how you kind of played, as you said, it wasn't exactly great.
No. I mean, obviously, Tottenham they weren't great, and the first half proved that. I mean, so going 3-0 in the first half, even though I predicted the scoreline right, but I wasn't expecting to go half time 3-0 up.
No,
So, but yeah, I mean, we were a little bit poor. I will say, at left back, Tomiyasu wasn't on his game. Martinelli was a lost soul, and Rea with that stupid mistake. But that was the only 3 things that I can judge on the Arsenal team. But yeah, I mean, Tottenham were absolutely poor. I mean, it was like a gifted penalty and a mistake by Rea. That was the only reason why he scored their 2 goals. If that didn't happen, we'd still be 3-0.
Exactly. So before I'm going to ask Henry's question, I'm just going to bring in a man I did a match preview on Friday. Let's see if he's going to be happy. Uncle
Hey,
Ross, how are we doing?
listen, I'm always happy when I come in your show. Come on now.
Yes.
Come on now, man. I'm always happy when I come in your show. Listen, at the day, listen. I always talk about, obviously, what you was talking about before we got into ours, yeah? I mean, I don't want to interrupt, you know what I mean, what you're talking about.
So I'm just going to ask this question, actually. So it's quite relevant. Who do you want to replace Sheffield, Burnley and Luton? Leicester, Ipswich or Leeds? Well, we know Leicester's already there.
Ipswich and Leeds are tied on 90 points each.
It's very tight there.
Very tight.
Some
I
goal
would
difference
like
as well.
Ipswich, wouldn't you? I like Ipswich to come in.
Ipswich
You know
should
what?
be another Luton.
Those three there, it'd be out of Ipswich. It'd be out of Leicester and Leeds to win the championship, and Ipswich will get promoted through the playoffs because the only best team in the playoffs at the minute is between Ipswich and Southampton, which could be the playoff final, which I can see Ipswich beating Southampton to it. So I reckon it'd be those three coming up.
Ain't Leicester won the championship already?
No,
They've
they
won it
just
now.
got promoted.
No.
Got
They haven't
promoted.
won
They haven't won it. They just got promoted.
They just got
Okay,
promoted. Yeah.
Just realised Ipswich have actually got a game in hand over Leeds as well.
Yeah. It's very tight there as well, which is, it's good to see it. Both Premier and the Championship, very tight. Tony Neary saying, Man U still in 6th till next week when they get slapped by Palace and Newcastle. Show them how to deal with Burnley.
Then Arsenal the following week.
And then Newcastle again the following week. And then Brighton the following week.
Yeah.
And then Man City the following week.
Spurs fan. Ah, yes. Yeah, Mr. Dusty, yeah.
Anyway, he's back now. So quite quiet now, lads. He bloody hit that quick, didn't he, Budgie?
These are hi, Rods. Hello, Uncle. How are you? Listen, these have been on my head the whole time, buddy. Don't you worry. I've got it all written down. Yeah, just don't deliver into the bedroom. It starts there. I know. Don't you worry about that.
I know Luton were the best team this season who came up. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a shame to see Luton go down because I think if you look at it, they've proved that they can do fighting. But hey, Burnley, you never know because it's quite tight at the bottom as well, isn't it? I mean, obviously we know United's gone. Forest on 26, Luton on 25, and Burnley on 24.
Do you know what it is? Do you know it's such a cut across here on it with Luton in there? I would be sad to see them go down because what it is today, I think the only thing that letting Luton down is the defending. You know what I mean? Going forward, it look good, midfield and an attack. Do you know what I mean? It's just the defending today, like it's not good. Do you know what I mean? And any Luton fan will tell you the same thing. Do you know what I mean? It's the defending's not good. Do you know what I mean? And I feel that if they can get the defending right, do you know what I mean? Right, for obviously next season, and they come up to the Premiership the following season, if they can get the defending right, I think they'll be a force. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why I would like them to stay up. I would like them to stay up because it is my local club at the moment. Do you know what I mean? And I do work down there, so I would like them to stay up. But
I mean, to be fair, I'm actually, a little bit disappointed that Everton have had a resurgence and that they're out of the fight now. Because I think it was really exciting with Everton in that mix, because it kind of drove like the likes of Luton and Sheffield United to actually perform.
Yeah.
Thing is, though, Budgie, Anthony said it on our show on during the week. If you look at it, if it wasn't for Everton having them points deduction, they'd be virtually mid up into the top 6. If you look at it,
Yeah.
That is true. I just like to take the mickey out of Everton.
You can't do the time, don't do the crime. I mean, we could probably say that same for sort of like Forest in the day. If they didn't get their points option, then maybe they'd be in a different position. Do you know what I mean? I think obviously
every club is teetering on the edge of investigation, surely. Especially clubs like Chelsea, You know, the big spenders, basically, anybody spending 100+ million on a player, they got to be looked at, surely. Do you know what I mean? Where are them finances coming from?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I don't, you know, I've got to add Arsenal in that conversation as well, because although Arsenal are considered to be a big club, you know, there is also the question of where did that 105 million come from? You know, really, because the business that the club have been doing hasn't warranted that much money on a single player, in my opinion.
Mm.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean,
It is 'cause
I just think the 100+ million price tags are ridiculous anyway. No matter who puts a player up at that price, you know. I mean, Brighton certainly saw Chelsea coming with Caicedo.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, don't get me wrong, the boy can play football.
Can he?
But, well, he can. Look, honestly, he can. He can play football.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I watched him a little bit when he was at Brighton because one of my best mates is a Brighton fan, so watched a few games with him.
Mm.
And the boy can play football, but he is not, you know, a Yaya Toure or anything that they actually kind of labelled him as. You know, they kind of labelled him as a, you know, a modern day Yaya. He's not. He's just
right.
not.
You're right.
You know, he's, if anything, he's like a modern day. What's his blinking name?
Who's he playing for?
Used to play for Tottenham, number 8, tall mixed race lad.
Oh, Dembele.
No. Lighter skin than Dembele.
Dele Alli.
Dele Alli.
Oh, Dele Alli.
See, now, for me, Caicedo's a very expensive Dele Alli.
Yeah. But you know what, Budge? Yeah? You know what?
Not as good.
You know
Yeah,
what?
go on.
To be fair, yeah, this is the state what we got to. We've got to this state here where getting players at the day, right, that are literally overpriced at the day. From the time at the day they spent 15. Do you remember years ago when like they brought sort of like
Fernando Torres?
No, Alan Shearer.
Right, yeah.
You go back to Alan Shearer like for 15 million. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or 50 million to sort of like to go to Newcastle. I start to think then and the day, well, we're heading down sort of like a rocky road here. Do you know what I mean? Because what you're going to get in a day is like, if you want a player, you know what I mean? No matter who you are, if you want a player in a day, right, and that team doesn't want to let that player go, they're just going to slap a big price tag in it. Do you know what I mean? You know, and then you have to pay it. I mean, Declan Rice at the day, I mean, I rate the player. Don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? I rate the player Declan Rice, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I still don't think he's worth 100 million. Do you understand what I'm getting at? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But then, to a West Ham fan, he was worth 150 million. You know? Going by today's prices, we knew that he was going to be £100 million plus player when we did eventually sell him. We knew that. We knew that probably when, you know, before Grealish even came to go to City, we kind of knew that Declan Rice was heading that way. We've seen his growth and everything else, and we've watched him on a weekly basis, you know, so we kind of knew what was being hatched week by week. And when the rumour was out there that City were willing to pay 95 and Arsenal were going to come in with 105, we knew that we were going to take the 105. We knew that. But we also felt that if you guys are coming in with a valuation of 95 to 105 million, you must be worth more.
Possibly.
You know, you don't open up with the best price scenario. Do you know what I mean?
Could you say
See, the thing is, like used to are saying about the big prices, but as Stepsy says here, love to buy a player for £10 million, let alone 100 million.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where Luton are, isn't it? Really, that's
the
divide in the Premier League. Really,
I think at the day, sort of like we've got to the stage at the day where we are paying overpriced players, because you probably could say the same for Caicedo. Like Brighton people, for example, look, you know. That it's doing. We was like we value him at that price, and we know he's going to go for that price. Do you know what I mean? You know, it depends on the club. Do you know what I mean? You know, but I just think we got to the stage today that we're spending way too much money on players. You know what I mean? You know, and it's
God,
some of them are overpriced. Who's that?
Rice, baby.
No, stop that.
Mind you saying that, as Pepsi Pack says here, though, you know, Chelsea buying Mudryk was hilarious.
Yeah.
It was. I got
Well,
it. I got it.
88 million.
Yeah. We bought
ridiculous.
Trossard instead. I prefer Trossard. Yeah, honestly. And
No, Trossard's a good player. Trossard's a good player. I rate him highly. I rate him highly.
Well,
Yeah.
we're
He
talking
never
about
takes his
this
eye
with,
off the ball.
Luton asking, replying back to Steps' question. The reason why is because obviously we know that Luton hasn't got the money there. But the trouble is, though, you think of it, it's like what Uncle Rod said up front and in their midfield. They've got players there that can fight.
Yeah.
And they fight, and they don't go down without a fight. That's the only reason why Luton are doing now they're doing now. But talking about the price of Declan Rice, I'll tell you what, in say anywhere between 5 to 10 years' time, it won't surprise me if we see our first £1 billion player.
Yeah.
Seriously.
You're not wrong there, mate. You're not wrong there. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong at all.
I mean, there's a couple of comments.
Sad.
Couple of
And
comments there
you know,
just
the
to
other.
read this. Sorry, Budge, I'll just say because there's a
Yeah,
little a contrast here. So you've got Tony saying Arsenal's worldwide fan base is huge and they spend a lot on merch, whereas Pepsi say Liverpool's world fan base still their club's merch.
There's no need for that. There's no need for that. I think Pepsi, you need to be put on a timeout, so mate. You need to go on a naughty step for that, pal.
That's what it's all about on this show, having the banter. You know what I mean? It's one of those. Correct, Anthony. We dodged a bullet with Chelsea outbidding us.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
100%.
I mean, you know, what I was going to say was though, these clubs that are spending this money on these players can now justify putting their ticket prices to over £100 a game. They can justify it now.
Ain't Arsenal had a 12% increase?
Yeah. So their season ticket is was it Anthony 1,035 for the cheapest season ticket?
1,035, but the dearest one is about £3,000 a season, and they put it up. They put it up this season. They put it up by 6%. 6%. So with all the merchandise going into it, all the season tickets, like the people that sells the season tickets, they buy them and stuff like this and that. I tell you what, it won't surprise me if Arsenal get around about £5 million a home game, because I read going back a few years ago, it was £2 million a home game they were getting. That was around about 4 years ago. By then, they put their ticket prices, they whacked it up a massive 18 to 20% going back a few years ago, and now they put it up by another 6% this season. So you've got to be talking in a region of around about £5 million a game easily.
Yeah. Well, imagine what West Ham's finances are like then. If they're getting 62,500 people in there every week, they're probably the revenue. I mean, obviously, doesn't all go to the club. Some of it goes to the LLDC that owns the stadium. But, you know, we're only paying like, I don't know, what is it, £4 million a year rent?
Yeah, 4 million now.
Stadium.
And we upped
You're
it
making
to
a killing, Matt. You're making a killing.
Of course. Well, if you look at it, we actually put the price, we put it up. We was actually originally only paying £2 million. We actually upped the money.
Yeah. To satisfy a lot of the voices that were saying we were being given it. You know?
I mean, you can go to Fuzz's team and watch Man United for £12. You know, it's like how they're doing this season.
Yeah, but it's on an industrial estate. What do you expect?
That construction site.
Well, we don't let you think about your team like that, pal.
As BVB David is saying, if a player is valuable to a club, they'll be sold for a bit. And to be fair, we're saying about the Declan Rice thing, and Budgie will probably agree with this, and Jeff, if he's still here in the chat as well. It's about time West Ham actually made money on a player. The amount of years we've actually lost out severely. No sell-on clauses.
I mean, even as you know, sort of recently is Skamaka, and people like that. We've lost money on just about every striker we've bought. We've had players had to retire because they've been at West Ham. Dean Ashton. We never made a quid. In fact, we had to pay him compensation.
Well, didn't he get that massive injury, didn't it?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We've not had a lot of luck with players that we've purchased for decent money. Like even Dimitri Payet, I don't think we made a lot of money on him either. I think we made about 4 million quid or something. Dimitri Payet was undoubtedly the best player in the Premier League that season.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
And we only made about 4 million quid on him when we sold him to Marseille.
I felt a bit sorry for West Ham when he actually went back to Marseille. I did feel sorry for you.
We do tend to we've got a good history of having really classy players that come and go. Carlos Tevez, Paolo Di Canio. Although Di Canio was with us for 4 or 5 seasons, I think. Jermaine Defoe, one of our biggest rivals. We've even had loan players come to us that have been absolutely dynamic, and then choose not to stay with us. Now, that's got to be something to do with the ownership, I think, and the ethos within that, because their teammates and everybody they get on with the coaches, they get on with all the daily staff. It's the board, and I'm going to use Jesse Lingard as a perfect example. Okay, his head may have been turned a little bit by the money that Nottingham Forest were offering, but in general, when he came to us, he was the happiest player on the planet.
He was,
and then he shone like a diamond. 16 goal involvements in 15 games or something like that.
Yeah, no, he was doing well.
18 games. He had 9 goals and 7 assists, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The guy was incredible for us and chose not to stay. He would have been nailed on first team starter had he stayed at West Ham. He went to Nottingham Forest, and I think he started 4 games in the season.
Well, he's not even with them now, is he?
No, he's gone.
No, he's out in China or somewhere now.
I just want to say hello to Dow. Big up, Dow, Oregon Goon. Good to see you on here, matey. And a good comment here from Stepsy, because they said, the sport, it's not a working man sport anymore. We know that it's just basically a business, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a conglomerate of businesses now as well.
Henry's alluding that like Arabs, Qataris, Americans filter into the Prem. We'll see no English owners or managers.
Yeah.
It's the cost of travel that hits Man United fans hard with the long trips up from London to Manchester.
Speaking of which, the FA Cup final tradition thing that a lot of the people who work in the club, apparently Sergio Ratcliffe's gone, you know what? Nah, you don't get those privileges. Where basically
before, I'm going to come to that,
before they'd have everything paid for them to enjoy a day out at the FA Cup final. SJL's gone and said, "No, you don't. You'll get the tickets. The tickets to get in there are free for you. We'll pay for those, but everything else, nah, you're paying for yourself to get down there." What I like as well, shame they couldn't do it for the adults as well, but they did the scheme thing where it's like for every X amount of money that was spent in one thing, they would go towards covering the costs for everybody that's under 16 going to the game for Man United. So that for under 16s, the ticket for the FA Cup final is £5.
Yeah.
So I think it's a nice thing to do. It's a nice gesture for younger fans.
Yeah. You know what they do in Germany, and this is what it is. What they do in Germany, why German football at the moment and they're so successful, because what they do I think I talked to you about this before. They make it literally a family affair. Do you know what I mean? A family affair. So the basic and days it's very cheap to get in. Do you know what I mean? And you can bring your own family, all your family and that. And what you find out then is like every ground, no matter what team it is, it's all packed because of this nice little packaging which is affordable for the normal man. Do you know what I mean? You mean it's all like normal working man. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it used to be. It used to be like that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, listen, I can go back and remember the day paying £2.50 to go and watch Watford. Do you know what I mean? Back in 1981. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know,
West Ham used to have kids for £1.
Kids for £1. You remember that?
Yeah. Well,
We just come to this
what?
comment here. Sorry, Anthony. Sorry, I'll
Go
just go to this first of all, and then I'll come back to you in that. Mama Flossie saying they don't want the regular fans anymore who just buy a ticket. They want the fans who buy packages and buy all the merch.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Sorry,
that's,
Anthony,
that
you were
was,
saying.
yeah.
Let Anthony go first, Buzz, and we're coming to you after.
Yeah, go on.
Go on, Anthony.
Yeah, there was a team on the weekend in the championship. They were doing quid a kid, and it was £15 for an adult, but it worked out it was like £30 for a family of 4. So that obviously that wasn't too bad. And I believe that was the team that knocked West Ham out of the FA Cup this season. But it was but they do bits going towards the end of the season, that sort of thing, for families to go and watch them as well. So it's nice. Look, it's nice there. But apparently there was a bit of a ruckus there. There was a bit of a fight that broke out in the stands, and I don't like that when you've got like young kids. It's a good family day out, and that, and some stupid idiot has got to spoil it.
I had a similar experience coming home from the what name is it? It was the quarter final, against the German team. Oh God, I've forgotten the bloody name now. Leverkusen, that's it. Leverkusen. I was coming home. I got delayed at East Croydon station for 38 minutes on the train because there was a fight between West Ham fans on the train.
Fucked, isn't it?
Do you know what I mean? You're all supporting the same club. You're wearing the same shirt, more or less.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why would you want to pick a fight with somebody just because you can't drink, hold your alcohol, whatever, But the whole train was delayed, and they had to miss out two stations because of it as well.
Wow. Let me just.
3 stations.
There's 3 comments I want to say from BVB David. The first one is saying, obviously, Bundesliga, no international ownerships. All right, ticket splits for all fans and £30 ticket for any club in the league. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah. But then he says 51% fan ownership model. So they've got to run for fans enough as well as economic flow. Again, wouldn't be a bad shout over here. But a Premier League aren't required to run like that for fans. That's the shameful part about it.
And that's why the German fans, like the Leverkusen fans and the Freiburg fans, and previous seasons when we played who was it we played the the German fans are very organised. Very, very organised in their support. They'll wave their flags at the same time. They'll all cheer the same chants at the same time. They're very, very organised. And I like that. It's really, really good to see. It kind of made my night a bit more special on the night, because they are actually a really good fan base, the German fans.
I tell you what, Kaiserslautern, like, they're in the 3rd tier of, Bundesliga, 3rd tier.
Yeah.
And they get sold out crowds every week. Every week, sold out crowds. That's in the 3rd tier of the Bundesliga sort of like football. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're very well supported clubs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well supported.
Mind you, Crawley Town sell out every week.
Yeah, it's true. A question for you there, Anthony. Are you still Arteta out?
Well, I got to be honest with you. As from the start, he wasn't my ideal manager. With him throwing the FA Cup away, which obviously he did. King Mikel, you are on prick mode, but I admire what you're doing at the minute. But if you don't win this Premier League this season, with 750 million that you've already spent, I'm back to Arteta lane. if he don't win the Premier League this season. He'll still be the manager next season. He'll spend 250 million next season. And check this out. This will be his first £1 billion he has spent at the club if he spends 250 million next season.
Yeah, it's true. That's true.
Yeah.
When Pepsi's saying, obviously, West Ham fans on that train, Bud, saying, obviously, still fight on their own, which we do. And Stepsy's saying, still stay classy, West Ham. We do. We don't smash up boats on the River Thames or anything like that at all. Nothing to do with us. It's always other people. Probably
Every circus has to have a clown.
absolutely, mate. Absolutely, we have our fair share. The bowling lounge say the problems the Colombian soldiers, Budgie.
Yeah. I would like the fan ownership thing as well. That would be quite nice.
Yeah,
You know?
I think there is. Who's the club that's got someone's got a fan in it? But again, they're not going to have the same thing like the Bundesliga, like the German league does. That'd be lovely, isn't it?
Well,
Man United.
Of course.
Sir Jim Ratcliffe is a
Yes,
lifelong Man United
he's
fan.
your fan.
allegedly, so are David Gold and David Sullivan. But
that's
I mean,
right.
he's only ever.
David Gold was.
Chelsea's like the only club he's ever had a season ticket for as well.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. When he's season ticket for Chelsea.
He tried to buy Chelsea, failed. Bought a season ticket there. At least that was the only successful club take. That's probably the closest he ever got to taking over a club successfully before Nice and bloody Man United.
Yeah, glad to manage to win them a trophy, which he did. Yeah, good for Frankfurt. But Henry's saying, but City have a game in hand and 1 point behind, and City have a better run in even with the FA Cup final. So yeah, it's we know it's close to the wire. It's now a 2-horse race. Would you agree on that, Uncle? It's a 2-horse race.
Yeah.
After the result with us.
I have to agree with it. It's a 2-0 race in the day, and
It's fine, Stepsy.
It's kind of like being not very good time for us at the day, sort of on the pitch. You know what I mean? I would agree with that still. Although not taking away at the day the result in the day that West Ham got yesterday. Not taking nothing away from that. Do you know what I mean? That was a well-deserved result. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Even the West Ham, even the Everton losing against Everton, they deserved their result because at the end of the day, they were at it and we wasn't. Simple as that. They were at it, we wasn't. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when we done our show the other day, didn't we? We done our show the other day. You did predict like 2-1 to sort of like to West Ham, didn't you?
Yeah.
And I predicted 2-1, obviously the other way. Do you know what I mean? So we nearly got it there. We nearly got it close.
Yeah.
I went 1-1. I went 1-1.
And he went 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest today, sort of like, there's been a lot of stuff at the end of the day. I mean, obviously, I will discuss this on like another show. So to discuss it now, and then it's really long. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna bore you with the semantics. But what I'm trying to say is, like, there's been a lot of stuff at the day that's happening in the league this season today that I haven't been totally happy about still. But saying that, listen, and right, Arsenal are top at the moment, and one could say they deserve to be there. You got Man City, obviously behind them, 1 point behind them, and obviously with the game in hand. I don't think they deserve to be there. That's my point. Do you know what I mean? I don't think they deserve to be there, but they're there. You know what I mean? I think judging Liverpool on the last couple of games at the day, where we are is where we are. Do you know what I mean? I can't say that sort of like, that I expect more. I expect to be second or I expect to be first and for that because of the games that we played so lately and the results and how we've been playing because we've been woeful, man. I mean, to be honest, today, as I said, again, not taking anything away from West Ham yesterday, but we shouldn't allow at the end of the day Antonio to get between two defenders and get a clear header. We should not allow that. We've got 2 6'3" defenders there, and he's been allowed to get through the both of them, get a clean header onto goal and score.
Yeah.
Should not be allowed. That space at the day should have been locked up. You know what I mean? You shouldn't have had that space there. And say with Jarrell Bowen at the day, Jarrell Bowen at the day is not the tallest of persons, is he? He's a small guy, but yet in the day he was able to go through sort of like 2 defenders at the day. One of the defenders at the day, so-called defenders, turned his back the other way. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And Joe Bowen got his head on it today and back and net. Don't get me wrong, both goals at the day well deserved at the day, because you have to be in that space at the day to actually do it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is that those spaces that was afforded to West Ham should have been closed down. Do you know what I mean? So we got at the end of the day what we deserved. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't look to you and say to you, look, we should be higher. Do you know what I mean? I think at the natural order of it is now.
Do you think that Liverpool got the draw with a certain amount of luck on their side as well, though?
From what I saw,
Taking the second goal into consideration, for example.
Oh yeah. I mean, the ricochet and all that. Come on, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, yes, you can.
That's
say
the luck of the draw, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Where that goes.
I think all teams get. So you're right, Budge. Some of the goals they weren't clean goals. They weren't like like you had a strike on goal, bang in the back of net. It weren't nothing like that. It was like came off a player or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Or the last goal, and then they came off two players. What's it? What do you mean?
It was three. It came off of Souček. First of all, it was Bonner. Then it came off Souček, and he actually cleared it off the line, and it hit goalkeeper's arm, and then into the goal.
Yeah.
So it actually went down to an Areola own goal.
Yeah. So really and truly, and they sort of like yes, there was a certain amount of luck in the day, sort of like. I
mean, without you being in that position and having that shot, that would never have happened. Of course, clearly. But a certain amount of luck allowed you a second goal.
Yeah,
I think personally, had not have happened, and we had got our second goal, I don't think that would have been the end of it for Liverpool. I think they would have fought a lot harder. Having brought Salah on, I think there would have been a lot more opportunity for them to draw level with us.
Do you know what?
Than the other way around.
To be fair, I'll be fair with you. I think if you hadn't got that second goal with that ricochet, I think you would have won it. I'll be honest with you. I think you would have won it. I think you would have won that 2-1.
Yeah.
I said, and that's me taking off my fucking Liverpool hat and speaking as as a football fan, as an honest fan. I think you guys would have won it. You'd have walked away with that. I'm telling you. You'd have walked away with that.
I mean,
and as you said, it would have been a deserved win because for the game we played that game really well. I thought.
Yeah, you wouldn't have
Liverpool were very strong and dominated possession in the second half.
Yeah, but I tell you what, if you would have won that yesterday, you would have no arguments from me, pal. No arguments from me, pal. I'm telling you.
I mean, Uncle, we've covered this earlier on, but obviously Jeff's asking you from the bowling lounge. What do you make of the Salah Klopp spat?
Salah's out of order. He's bang out of order. That's all there is to it. He's bang out of order. He should fuck off next season. I'm sorry, excuse my language, but you don't do that shit. You don't do that. You know what I mean? Yeah? Because, right, you look at it in a day, right? Klopp's leaving, yeah? In the season. No matter how he's sort of like, he's done it and everything that, right? Where the bad timing or whatever in there, right? No matter that and everything that, he's a great manager. And he has been a great manager for Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? Yeah? I will put him down in sort of like, the comparisons of Bob Paisley and Bill Shankly. Because for what he's done, you know what I mean? Because what he's done in it, when Jurgen Klopp coming to Liverpool at the day, right? We was going downhill. Do you know what I mean? And he's changed it up and he's got the players at the day playing with a passion again, competing again. Do you know what I mean? And as well,
he's been fantastic for Liverpool.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Yeah, and he's added charisma to the sort of like to Liverpool in the day, right? He was the one at the day when Divock Origi scored a last second goal and everything that, right? He ran on the pitch in the day, ran and hugged Alisson because Alisson set it up. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We finally saw things that the day from our managers at the day, right? Manager that we haven't seen from our previous managers. Do you understand what I'm saying? So he's been brilliant at the day, right? He was the one that plucked Salah from Italy at the day, yeah? When he was playing with Fiorentina and Roma and that, right? He was one that plucked him in the day, brought him back to the Premiership in the day, right? And hyped up his profile. Do you know what I mean? Made him into like the Egyptian king. He wasn't being called Egyptian king in Italy. He certainly wasn't being called Egyptian king at Chelsea. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but he weren't playing much at Chelsea.
Yeah, that's what I'm
either.
saying. But what is today is like he's come to Liverpool, and Liverpool has given him a platform.
Yeah, he's come to Liverpool as a more experienced and slightly more mature player, and he's shown what he's actually capable of, which has been exceptional, by the way.
Right.
I mean, he has been exceptional in his career at Liverpool. On the Jurgen Klopp thing, I don't know if you've seen or heard about it, Rods, but David Moyes has actually openly stated in a press conference that he would be glad to see the back of Jurgen Klopp. He actually said that. He said he's been great for Liverpool, and I admire everything he's done with Liverpool, but I'd be glad to see the back of him.
Yeah, you would because he's been thing. But like, if I touch,
but that's quite high praise, if that manager, regardless of who that manager is, another top flight manager comes out and says that's praise, in my opinion.
No,
you know what I mean? And I think Jurgen Klopp would see.
No, that is very high.
Same way.
That's
but
very high.
To be fair, I mean, have Liverpool actually made a deal now with
Arne Slot?
What's his face?
Yeah.
Right,
Arne Slot, yeah.
Arne Slot and everything that, right? My feelings on Arne Slot, I will discuss that, right? Moyes at the end of the day, right? I think Moyes at the end of the day is show class at the end of the day because not many people would admit at the end of the day they're glad to see their back of it. Not many people admit that, you know what I mean? Yeah. And trust me, a lot of managers in the Premiership are. With the Salah and Klopp thing and everything that, right? Yeah.
Afternoon, Lawrence.
Salah has not, these last couple of games for a while now, Salah has not been performing today, right? Yeah. So if at the end of the day, right, Klopp decides to drop him at the end of the day, right? Yeah. He's got the right to drop him at the end of the day and bring him on the sub. Don't think at the end of the day, right, that you've got the divine right at the end of the day, right, to sort of like be playing. Do you know what I mean? Don't think you got that. Do you know what I mean? And that's what he's come to. He thinks he's got the divine right to play. Now you've had a spat with your manager, public spat with your manager, and I think that, right? What he should have done at the day is like speak to him at the day in his office. Do you know what I mean? Go and speak to him in his office on Monday and say, look, you know what? Blah, blah, this X, Y, and Z. You don't have public spat, right? Again, after the game now, yeah, when they're asked, the reporter come to him, like, to ask some questions that they do, he goes, oh, I ain't going to say nothing because if I say anything, it's going to be fire. I'm thinking to myself, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are? You need to be getting on next season.
He thinks he's bigger than the club, you mean?
Exactly. And you can't have people like that.
No iron team, as they say. No iron team. Don't forget people smash the likes, as Jess is saying there. Yeah, and obviously don't forget all the people that's on the panel that's actually, content creators. Don't forget those guys as well.
My sort of like view on sort of like Arne Slot, I don't think he's good enough. To be honest, I don't think he's good enough. I think when you get when a manager, not get rid of, but when a manager of Jurgen Klopp's caliber at the end of the day, right, is leaving you covenant for that, you need to try and match that energy. Yeah. Just need to match that energy. You just need to match that energy. There's no second to say you need to match that energy. And they haven't really, because like this guy in the day that's coming in, what's his CV like? What, he's won one title in the Eredivisie. And we all know that the Eredivisie is weak. It's not as good as it's not as good. I'm not no disrespect and everything that. It's not as strong as other leagues over Europe, yeah? It's not as strong as other leagues. So we all know that.
Just interrupt you there.
Sorry.
So take care, Arsenal Manic. Take care, Tony. Sort out Dejmeister. That's enough for the Sunday. Take care, mate. Big up to the rest of the panel. Big up to yourself as well, mate. Have a good week as well.
Sorry. I just don't think.
I just want to answer this one. I just want to see the answer from our top man, Budgie. When is he going to have his press conference and saying, "Good riddance to Moyes"?
Moyes is all right, man. Moyes is all right. Leave Moyes alone, man. He's all right, man.
Listen, you watch West Ham week in, week out for, 3 seasons with that manager.
Yeah, True.
Right? Honestly, you would understand our position a lot more. We're very, very grateful and very proud of what we've achieved under David Moyes, but he has reached his peak. Right?
Yeah.
So don't sort of like keep flogging that horse, because eventually it's going to give up. You know.
No.
You should be the manager for Hammers, you know, Budge.
So
No, mate. No.
The reason why I laughed
listen, don't get me wrong. I'm all right on FIFA 22 and all that. Not too bad on that. But forget real life. I don't think I could deal with people with the, with
you know what?
all those characters, man. I couldn't do it.
You know what, football podcast? Yeah, you know what he'd be doing? He'd be chilling everybody, wouldn't he? He'd be chilling.
Just go back on this comment. Henry saying David Gold won't sack Moyes, and as Jeff has made it quite, for sure, Henry. He's pushing up daisies. Unfortunately, Henry, David Gold passed away.
Yeah, it's David Sullivan, I think he means.
David Sullivan, yeah, that's the one. Pepsi's saying you need to build a statue of Moyes outside the ground with what he's achieved. Could you see that one?
Do you know something? Actually, maybe not a statue, but maybe like, a plaque of some description. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Or in fact, like on Champions Walk, we've got all those stones with, just so that we can all walk over him like he has done to us.
Exactly. Richard saying David Moyes done well for West Ham. He really has. I think he just needs a few more quid to spend. Yeah, it's true. It's true. There's one thing he's been missing out on. The sales crew saying you'll be fantastic as Hammers the manager, Budgie.
I don't know.
Moyes has been reached in T, Jeff. And we're going to ask the final question as we're getting near to the end here. It'll scare the seagulls. Brother Stu and obviously Henry. Don't worry, Henry. We know you got the wrong guy. We know you meant Sullivan, so you're okay on that one there.
Yeah.
2 questions, first of all, on that. I did a show on Friday basically saying, Budgie, look, your assistant, Miss Amaret. So it's a win-win, basically.
Yep.
Who do you think our next manager is going to be?
Well, my personal choice of the potential replacements would probably be God, I forget his name now.
No.
What is his name?
There's no way we're getting Southgate.
It's not. No. Oh God, I forget his name now. It's because I've had a couple of beers and Lopetegui. That's it. That's the fella I was thinking of. I think out of all the potential names that have been put forward, he would be my preference. But knowing David Sullivan the way I do, we'll end up with Harry Potter.
Yeah. Anthony's brother's obviously saying Liam Manning be next West Ham manager. He knows how to beat them. He's proved that already. No, Pepsi, we're not doing that. He's going to Man United. It's pure and simple.
That's definitely a hangman.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not getting him, guys, unfortunately. Yeah. Probably right this, Stu. Not mad on Loopy Loo myself. We'll see on that one.
Where is he now? Where is he now?
Lopetegui?
Yeah, he's with Lisbon, isn't it?
He was. I think
he's Real Betis, is it, or something like that?
I think he's free now. So
he's Betis, isn't it? Real, I know.
Obviously, a free agent now.
I think he's free. I think I do believe. Or alluded to.
Well, then that's why he's the favourite, then, isn't it? Because he's not in a job.
Well, he's supposed to be impressed Sullivan by all accounts as well.
Yeah, so. Of course he has. He drinks the same red wine as him, smokes the same cigars. buys his dildos from his shop. You know, what else could the man want? You know, he's perfect.
Take care, Henry.
And he ain't got to pay out a contract.
That's true. Just say goodbye, Henry. Say good evening. Got to go, Tone. Great evening, guys. Thanks very much.
Thanks for joining us, mate.
Yeah. So look, he's on the dole. Jeff has said he's on the dole.
He's on the sausage. He's on the sausage, mate. Yeah.
Sausage roll,
yeah, that's it.
Alf Garnett, next West Ham manager. He'd be the one.
Yeah. Funny thing is, the actor that played him, what's his name? William, whatever it was actually a Tottenham fan.
That's true.
Believe it or not. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Fuzzy. Fuzzy, there's a question for you from Lawrence.
Where's the piano? Nah, Kenny Kane kicked me out of his house. So it was kicked me out. I wasn't welcome anymore. He kept the piano.
Bad time, Stacey. Bad time you actually managed to catch a stream for once. Thanks for coming on. Good seeing you. And the last question I'm going to ask you, and I'm also going to ask the chat as well. Who is going to win the Premier League?
Man United. In about 50 years, of course. Maybe.
That would be a bad shout.
I think Luton are going to win it before then.
Yeah. I think Portsmouth might actually make a comeback into the Premier League and win it before then.
Yeah.
I mean, they're first place in League One. Maybe they're making their comeback.
True.
They got promoted to Championship, didn't they?
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah.
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 I think so.
Lawrence is saying Man City.
Crawley Town are in the playoffs to get into League One.
Yeah. There you go. Mama Flussy, Newcastle's winning the league.
Not this year. Maybe in a couple of years, but not this year.
Not
10 years.
Yes. I think it's now done.
Arsenal fans so far. Not many Arsenal kind of comments coming in so far for this one.
I think
It's
it's
all
well,
works
it
out.
is winning. So I am personal. I'm going to say, do you know what? You've got to go with your own, haven't you? So
stick
I'm
in
going to
there.
say Arsenal, but I can see most probably Man City might creep up and like that's the end of the season. But that'd be that. Going to the West Ham manager.
Yeah.
I think there is a possibility of two. I reckon it's going to either be Graham Potter, who I reckon it will be.
Yeah.
I don't
But
believe
you know what? I got a funny feeling he's going to go cheap. He's not going to bring an elite manager in. I don't think he's going to do that. Right? And I don't know. And I was watching him being interviewed on there. I don't know. I might throw it could be a long shot, but you I know for a fact you lot won't want him. I was thinking of a certain Vincent Kompany.
I'd love him. I would love him at West Ham. Yes, I would.
Yeah, Vincent
I would
Kompany.
love him at West Ham.
Yeah.
He don't take that shit, does he? He don't take
No,
that shit.
you don't.
You know what I like about him is that it's not long since he was a top class player at a top class club, winning titles. Right? He knows what it takes to win, you know, and as a manager, he knows what it's like to get beat, and he don't like it.
No.
With top players, he would be a top manager, I believe. I reckon he would be perfect for West Ham. He'd be good for any of the sort of, regular top 10 clubs, I reckon.
Yeah, you imagine that Vinnie Jones as manager with Danny Dyer as his assistant. You imagine them two. Budgie and Tony. What about Steels? Too unproven? Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, all right, okay. The guy's staunch West Ham fan, admits it openly, so on and so forth. Doing brilliantly in Germany, I believe it is. Club getting fined every time he goes out because he hasn't got his badges yet.
Yeah.
So no, not yet. Let him get his badges and then see what he can do with a club like, for example, Coventry or Nottingham Forest, or let him see what he can do with a club like that. One of the journeyman clubs, you know what I mean by that? And let him see what he can do with them, and then maybe come to West Ham. But that's like a 5-year program
Yeah,
for him to come,
definitely.
in my opinion.
Which is
He's got to get his badges.
If
Man,
Ipswich, it's like any budget. If you think about it, if Ipswich don't get promoted, kind of thing, then there's McKenna as well.
Yep, there is, yeah. And
He's not bad, is he?
No.
yeah, there's also been talk about Thomas Tuchel. I'm not so sure about him,
Yeah, I heard about that.
but then I do love his passion for the game. I mean, when he was at Chelsea, I mean, it was quite funny watching him and Klopp together, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, if he doesn't,
it was.
if he doesn't, do anything, Southgate don't go for the man, a job. It'd probably be Tuchel.
Yeah.
You never know.
I mean, I've been off. I don't know if anyone, but Uncle Rod, what are you thinking of your new manager for next season?
Don't, Anthony, don't.
No?
I don't know. You know what it is, Anthony, mate? To be fair, my problem with him, not with him per se, at the end of the day, because if you're offered a job at the end of the day at a top club, getting good money, and you're going to take it. Simple as that, you're going to take it. So I've got no problem with it. It's just a problem is at the end of the day, I don't think his CV speaks to me. Do you know what I mean? And we've had a number of Dutch managers in the Premiership, yeah? And what they all got in common, and they ain't done well. Do you know what I mean? Martin Jol at Tottenham didn't do well. Then you had that one Chelsea had, didn't really do well. You know what I mean?
Gus Hiddink.
You've had so many Dutch managers at the day in the thing, and what they've managed to either win a League Cup or FA Cup. They haven't gone further than that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just think in the day, sort of like when you're looking for a manager to succeed, a great manager, what you've had, you have to be punching more higher than that. Do you know what I mean? I mean, no disrespect to Man United, but arguably Ten Hag had a better, it's got a better sort of like CV in Holland than what this guy's got. Look what's turning up when he's come to Man United. He's not man. He'd be lucky if he's there next season. He would literally.
They had Bangel as well, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. So then we get now we are taking a chance at the because it's a massive risk. We're taking a risk on a manager with a lower CV than Ten Hag, and to come to our club and say, "Yeah, give us greatness." It's just I just don't see it happening. I'm trying to tell the fan base at the day how I feel at the day, right? It's just how I feel at the day, and it's really literally supporting the club at the day, supporting the club at the day for 40 odd years at the day, right? Yeah, you must have had it budget, and you must have had it early doors. Yeah, there comes a time at the day you just feel like tapping out, even if it's just for about 4 or 5 months, a day, you just feel like tapping out because the things that's going on in your club and everything that continuously happening, and you don't find your club moving forward. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm at that stage in the day. I need to tap out for a while. You know what I mean? I might not tap out it might not be forever, but I do need to tap out for a while, because the same things keep on happening continuously. And I know it's hurting my club. You know what I mean? But either A, not getting the right players that we need to get, or B, we're not getting the right manager that we need to get. Do you know what I mean? It's all
that's quite a common theme around the Premier League, mate.
I know what you're saying, but what is it when you can see it? You can see it with your own eyes, and it's happening time and time again. Because look, we're a club at the day, right? Yeah, they had Roy Hodgson. We had Roy Hodgson. Do you know what I mean? Listen, it's always going to end in tears. Brendan Rodgers as well. Now, when these things happened, I said at the time at the day, like, nah, this ain't good. This is not good. It's not good enough. It's going to end in tears.
Yep.
And I was told that the day, give him time. He hasn't kicked the ball yet. This and that, blah blah blah. And I did, and what happened? Do you know what I mean? So I just don't see it working out. That's me. You know what I mean? I could be wrong, and I love to be proved wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love to be here about 5 months later and say, you know what, today I was wrong. I hold my hand, I apologize. I want to be proved wrong, because if I'm proved wrong, that's going to be the betterment of my team. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I love to be proved wrong. So at the moment, I just don't see it working out.
No.
I wonder what the top nation of Premier League managers. You know what I mean? By where they're from, what nation. I wonder who's been the most successful nation for managers. I wouldn't mind betting Scotland are in there.
Oh yeah. Scotland went in there because
Big up, Stephanie.
You
You know, the
look
great
at-
Alex Ferguson. Nobody can deny what that man achieved.
George
you know,
Graham.
George Graham.
Yeah.
You know, there's been plenty of Scottish managers.
Plenty of them.
Alex Ferguson.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You know, he's undoubtedly the greatest manager the Premier League's ever seen. You know, undoubtedly.
You know his budget. Yeah. Obviously, this is a talk for like another time. There's context to that. There's actually context to that.
Yeah, of course there is. Of course there is.
There's a lot of context to that. You know what I mean?
Of course. But you know, you look at it on paper and you look at the achievements. From that club during his tenure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to put him right up there with. Well, he's probably in the number one slot for achievements at a club. You know, and so. You know, that's what I'm saying. I would imagine that Scotland are up. I wonder what other nations have been, you know, serial winners in the Premier League.
Moyes.
As managers. French, I would think. Yeah. Well, you look at Arsene Wenger and one or two others.
Italian.
Yeah.
Are you talking about budget? Are you talking about Premier League era, or are you talking about overall?
Premier League era, really, because before the Premier League, there were very few foreign managers in the top flight. Very few.
Yeah.
They were mainly English and sort of Scottish, Irish, Welsh. You know, one or two from maybe, you know, Europe, but not very many.
No.
Well,
the most famous one, I suppose, the Portuguese Jose.
Yeah. He's been very successful. Hasn't he? You know?
As Richard said, won't be Spanish Arteta, got one FA Cup in 5 years.
Yes.
Well, then again, it's Pep Guardiola, though.
Yeah, the Italian, see, Ancelotti, Conte, Ranieri. Yeah.
Ancelotti,
The Tinker Man who won the Premier League with a B team. You know what I mean? But yeah, good luck to Leicester coming back up anyway. It's really good.
Steve Clark will be so pissed with Ten Hag after McTominay is out of Euros after picking up knee injury. Oh, is he? Fuzzy?
Oh, that means we're going to be linked with him then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We always get linked with him anyway. But now that he's picked up an injury, he's definitely coming to West Ham.
Oh yeah, because Taylor Dalglish was at Blackburn. He won the league with Blackburn, didn't he?
Yeah, he won the league Blackburn '95. That was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Di Matteo. Yeah.
Remember that as well.
Gianfranco Zola for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was successful at pissing everybody off. No, actually, I'll tell you one little story about Gianfranco Zola. There was can't remember who it was. I think it was Anton Ferdinand was talking on one of the podcasts that he did, and he was saying that during training under Zola, that you know he would be telling certain players what he wanted them to do with the ball during this training exercise, and they were trying, and he was like, "No, hang on," look. And the guy was like 43 at the time or something, and he was like literally inch perfect putting the ball where he told them that he wanted it put. and like he was saying, like, you know, I don't want you to score, I want you to get it off the bar and back out and things like that. And they were putting it under the bar, over the, and every time he took a free kick, hit the bar and came out, and the guy was inch perfect with his, you know, passing at 43. And I'm pretty sure it was Anton Ferdinand that said it.
You know
the guy was a legend, but not as a manager.
You know what it is with Italians? You know what it is Italians today? Quick. The Italians today, they don't lose it. Because if you look at Andre Pirlo and they, right? At age 43, 44, right? Yeah. He can still probably still play in the Premiership. And he's retired, and then he came back for one of those legend games at Liverpool. And he was playing in midfield. And I'll tell you what, he was immaculate in midfield. His touches and they was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know the saying, Uncle. Yeah, you know the saying. Class is permanent.
Yeah, you're right.
That's
You're right.
true. That is so true. And like Anton Ferdinand was also saying that, like, there were one or two players saying, like, come on, Gaffer, get the 25 shirt out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Basically, called him for him to come and play because he was so good in training, you know, at that age. You know, like you say, class is permanent. You never lose your class.
Of course,
No,
you know.
not at all.
You know, that's
Anyway,
why
gents,
people
we are
like.
coming up to 2 hours and 5 minutes, believe it or not.
Oh, goodness me.
Goodness.
It's
Yeah.
been a good show. Been a good show. We've
But
covered a
saying
few
that,
things.
though, with these managers, the Italian, if you can remember the late Gianluca Vialli, when he was manager at Chelsea,
Yeah.
he won him a few trophies, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. That's right, he did.
Zola, Cantona, Bergkamp, all class in the 90s. Liverpool had fucking Esky.
He was all right, though. He was all right for 1 or 2 seasons. He was all right for 1 or 2 seasons.
No, that's right,
Esky,
Cindy.
no,
Yeah. Hoddle was the same. Yeah, during England. Yeah, Hoddle was apparently quite
Yeah.
amazing what he did
Yeah.
in there. He
Oh,
really
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, let's we're going to come up to an end of the the stream. It's been a good, and thank you guys for being on the panel, and obviously everyone in the chat. Always great to have you people here. I'll start off with you, Uncle. If you'd like to shake yourself out, please, and what you've got coming up.
Listen, thanks for letting me come on your show. It's been a pleasure, mate. You know what I mean? From the other day we had our stream on Friday, it was great. And so listen, I'm coming in tonight because you always do great streams. You know what I mean? And I want everybody to support this channel, Early Doors Football TV. Support this channel. It's a great channel, and it's got great people around him. Do you know what I mean? And he's a great guy, really a great guy. So please, please, please like and subscribe to his channel. Please do. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
Give him all the support that he deserves. You know what I mean? Listen, you can catch me on Anfield Uncle Roz. I'll be on tomorrow. I'm grabbing my friend there, the Cookie Monster. I'm grabbing him tomorrow, and I'm grabbing you tomorrow as well. So we're gonna chop it up tomorrow. Same usual things.
Thanks, Jess.
Tuesday is a panel debate show, and I'm not sure what else I've got coming up, but I know I've got 2 shows coming up. So you can link me up at Anfield Uncle Rods on YouTube, Anfield Uncle Rods on Instagram, and Anfield Uncle Rods on Twitter. And I'm also going to be on here as well because this is a great stream and a great set of people, man. Lovely set of people. You know
Definitely
what I mean?
Definitely that. Fuzzy, yourself.
Yeah, find me on PopFuzz44 OG on YouTube and Instagram. Did the Man City Forest watch along, and it's the first watch along I've actually done since probably about August time. So it's probably something that I'll try and incorporate back into schedules if I can, if I've got the time available to do it. As far as future upcoming content, as you've already heard from Uncle Rods as well, probably over on his channel tomorrow night. I think it's 9 o'clock, is it?
Yes, mate. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be over there at 9 o'clock with yourself and also Early Doors. As for shows before then, maybe a little video or something to come out earlier in the day. Something Man United based, some news shows or something, and then after that, probably the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. as well. I think that's episode 16 as well, or was that episode 15?
That'd be 16 as well.
16.
Yeah.
Well,
16 episodes. So yeah, big ups to everybody on the panel. Big ups to everybody in the chat. It's been a great show. And yeah, looking forward to many, many more, much like this.
Yeah, it's great.
Budgie, you'd like to shake your good self out, please, sir?
Thank you. And again, thank you, Tony, for the invitation. Really appreciated. And good to be on the screen with all you guys. Pleasure chatting to you face to face again, Rod. Second time we've met, I think.
Yes, it is second time. Good to meet you.
Yeah, I'm sick of the other 2, but you, mate, it's lovely. Lovely to see you. No, seriously, though, guys, it's always a pleasure chatting with you all. We have a little bit of banter and stuff, so it's always nice. You can catch me in Green Street Elites on YouTube. That's my channel, mainly where I talk to people. I don't really do that many pre-game, post-game things. I I like talking to the fans about why they support their clubs. So there's going to be a few new ones coming up in the near future. I've got a couple lined up. Also, you can catch me on West Ham Network on a Wednesday night doing the Old School Hammers with my buddy Kieran from Brisbane, Australia. Born in West Ham, but now lives over there, or East Ham, now lives over there. So, yeah, you know, and you can also catch me from time to time right there on the screen at the Bowling Lounge with our good friend Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, thank you very much.
Lovely roast ham dinner tonight. Oh, yesterday, nice. Lovely.
I had
Anthony,
mine delivered to my bedroom. I can't get any
we
down
saw
there.
that. Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah.
Anthony, you'd like to shout out where you're going to be, please?
Yeah, I'm going to be on Really Doors TV on the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly show. Also, we're going to be obviously on air on the Sunday Bight Takeaway as well. And also, you can see me from time to time on Jez's show, Arsenal History and More. I just want to say big up to the panel, big up to everybody that's tuned in and watched the show. Make sure you like, subscribe to everybody's show here. I do watch them. I even watch his Uncle Rod's as well. Fuzzy, I'm sorry that I couldn't come on the watch along today because I had to pop out. And then
you have to stuff your face with a Big Mac.
Yeah, that's right. You know me.
Big Mac's more important.
That's where you can find me.
Cool.
Brilliant.
Are you from Bristol? You from Bristol? Anthony,
I'm from Bristol. Yeah.
I'm gonna be up your way again at Tuesday. I was up there 2 weeks ago. I was around by Eastern area. Is it Eastern?
Eastern, yeah.
Yeah, I was around by that area, and you know where the bus station is, isn't it? And you got that part. Is it Broad something? I can't remember the name of it. But I was around by there, and then when I went to Eastern and that lovely place. So I'll be up.
Around by Broad Walk.
Yes, I was around by that area still.
Broad Walk. That's my intact. Yeah, that's my parents actually live around there, and where Eastern is, Eastern's literally what a 20-minute walk from here. So
because we walked from there to Eastern and went to Caribbean sort of like takeaway restaurants I played. Had something to eat there. It was very nice as well. It was nice, and then spent a day there. So I'm going back on Tuesday to spend another day there as well.
Drop the link in the chat. We'll all go there.
Yeah, listen. To be fair and everything, I'm thinking of moving up there myself. So.
Are you?
Yeah.
I just want to say I forgot to say thank you to everybody in the chat, and also to Mama Flossie, one of the hardest working moderators on YouTube.
Yeah, man, for real, man. Trust me.
I don't know if I can say it, but where Eastern is, I tell you what, as you go up around the corner and that, you know the Newcastle fan, John Sinclair?
Oh yeah, he's around that area, isn't he?
Yeah, he's around there. He lives 10 minutes down the road from me, John Sinclair.
Oh, wicked. What I'm gonna try and do when I go up there another time, I'm gonna try and link him up and everything like that. I'll try and link him up.
Should be good.
Oh, it's lovely area. Lovely area.
Bristol's a good place. Ask West Ham.
Oh yeah, Bristol Rovers, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, let me just add in for the final part. So basically, yes, obviously Wednesday you can find myself with Maryland Cookie Monster and Anthony on the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly show. Thursday on 9 o'clock, I shall be having a Q&A with Anfield Uncle Rods about him good self, his allegiance to Liverpool, and some other stuff. And obviously, as I go through the other people, that's going to be on Spotlight. Uncle Fuzz is going to be on Spotlight on Thursday, and then of course again on Sunday we'll be back with the Sunday Night Takeaway Show. So as James Boggs said, sorry, mate.
The Spotlight's going to be live, with the chat and everything.
It will be indeed,
Excellent.
It will be indeed. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward.
Yeah, mate. I'll be there.
So people can actually ask Uncle Rod some questions as well. We'll go through a bank of questions, and then the chat can ask Uncle some questions as well. So as always, before we sign off, let's just say one thing, as Pepsi Pack has alluded to. Happy St. Tottenham's Day, everyone. and enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy your week as well. And we'll see you again soon. Take care for now. Happy
Take
St.
care,
Valentine's
guys.
Day.
Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.